A very good morning to my dear students. In the last class, we were actually going with the second part of the first chapter included in your 6th unit, and we were dealing with a poem included in the same unit as the last chapter. Okay, now we are actually planning to go with the exercise portion in the second chapter in the same unit. Okay, so we had learned Thakur's Well as the second chapter in the 6th unit, and when we took the class, we did not take the exercise portions, I mean the grammatical items included in the second chapter. Okay, so today we are actually planning to go with the grammatical portions which are included in the second chapter under 6th unit. So here we will have two grammatical items, the first one being gerunds and the second one being future continuous. So now let us go for a detailed analysis or discussion of these two topics. Okay, first of all, we can go with the first one, gerunds. Okay, for that, all of you please take page number 142. Page number 142. So here the definition of gerunds is given, and there are so many examples for gerunds are given. Okay, now look at these sentences. Drinking clean water, what Joku desperately wanted to do. The two little Jamaican boys' favorite activity was playing. I am the boss today. The two highlighted words, drinking, playing, are gerunds. Now the definition is also given in the box given below. The gerund is a special kind of noun. It looks like a present participle. In fact, it is formed from a verb in the same way as a present participle, that is by adding ing, but it acts like a noun in several ways. So before going to say what a gerund is, you have to be able to differentiate between a gerund and a present participle. So both are written in the same manner. See, for example, look at the verb come. Look at the verb come. So by adding ing, we can constitute the present participle of this verb. So when we add ing to the root verb come, we get the word as coming, and this coming is actually the present participle form. And whenever this coming is used as a verb, it is present participle, and whenever it gets the role of a noun in a particular sentence, it can be referred to as a gerund. Okay, now please come back to your examples given in your textbook. Drinking clean water was what Joku desperately wanted to do. Okay, now listen. Drinking clean water was Joku desperately wanted to do. Okay, drinking clean water was what Joku desperately wanted to do. Now look at this word drinking. So this drinking actually comes from the verb drink. Okay, this drinking actually comes from the verb drink, and by adding ing to this root verb we get the word as drinking. See, for example, and now listen, drinking clean water was what Joku desperately wanted to do. Here this drinking is used, or here this drinking is actually the subject in the sentence. Okay, drinking clean water is what constituted as the subject in the sentence, or we can say that it is actually the noun used in this sentence. So whenever the ing form of a verb is used as a subject of a verb or used as a noun, it is what we called as gerunds. Okay, now please look at this example. Now listen, he is drinking water. Here also the ing form of the verb is used here, but this is actually used as a verb. That means this is what we call as present participle of a verb, and here in this sentence this drinking is actually used as the noun or the subject of verb here in the sentence. So whenever a verb in its ing form is used as a subject or is used as the noun of a sentence, it can be stated, or it can be referred to as the gerund. Okay, now listen, clearly speaking, drinking clean water was what Joku desperately wanted to do. Here this drinking is used as a subject in this sentence, thus it functions as the noun in this particular sentence. So this subject, this drinking is here used as the subject of the verb was wanted. That means it functions, or it performs the role of noun in this particular sentence. So whenever a verb in its ing form is used as a subject or used as a noun in a particular sentence, it can be referred to as a gerund. Okay, but coming to this example, he is drinking water. Here this is used as a verb, so it can be said as an example of a present participle. So this is actually the difference between a gerund and a present participle. Okay, now we are actually going to discuss some specialities regarding, or some varieties regarding the use of gerunds. Okay, now please go to the other examples given in your textbook. A gerund can be the subject of a sentence. Here I am going to write the first sentence, please do listen. Now we are actually going to discuss some varieties of gerunds, or some specialities of gerunds. Okay, now all of you please look at these examples. So by using or with the help of these examples, I am going to explain what is actually included in your textbook. Okay, look at the first one. Swimming is Ridwan's favorite sport. All of you please look at this sentence. Swimming is Ridwan's favorite sport. Now please look at this word Swimming. Swimming is actually originated from the root verb swim. So, by adding ing, we get the word as swimming. And swimming is actually its present participle form also, and it can be used as a verb, but here in this particular sentence it is used as a subject. Swimming is Ridwan's favorite sport. So, here in this particular sentence swimming is used as a subject. That is what we called this word as an example of a gerund. So, the first thing you have to note is, a gerund can be the subject of a verb. Here swimming is actually the subject of the verb is here. Simply saying, swimming in this particular sentence is actually the subject. Hence, it plays it performs the role of noun in this sentence. That is what it is written in your textbook as a gerund can be the subject of a sentence. So, here swimming is actually a gerund and it is the subject of a sentence. Here swimming is actually the subject in this sentence. Now, we are actually moving with the next example. Ilham's favorite sport is swimming. Here, what is actually the difference? In the first example, swimming is actually used as the subject of this sentence, and when coming to the second example, this swimming is used as a complement. What do you mean by a complement? A gerund can be a complement. So, here swimming, swimming, swimming and gardening, all these are examples of gerunds. That is the first thing you have to remember. Here swimming, here also swimming, here swimming and here gardening are all examples of gerund. Why they are becoming the examples of gerunds? Simply because in all these sentences these words are used as subject or used as nouns. So, we can undoubtedly say that they are examples of gerunds. And the first speciality or the first variety is, here in the first sentence gerund is used as the subject of a sentence, because swimming is here the subject in this sentence. And when coming to the second example, Ilham's favorite sport is swimming. Here this gerund is used as a complement. What do you mean by a complement? See, look at this particular example. Ilham's favorite sport is swimming. Can you find out which is the subject in this sentence and which is actually the predicate in this sentence? Ilham's is actually the subject and favorite sport is swimming is actually the predicate. And the object in a predicate is known as complement. Okay, the object in a predicate. So, favorite sport is swimming. This is actually the predicate part in this sentence, and in this predicate part, swimming is used as an object in this predicate part. So, complement is actually the object in a predicate portion. Okay, so we can say that here swimming used as a complement. So, you have to remember swimming can be used as a subject and swimming can be used as a complement. Now, we are actually moving with the third example. Look at the third example. Vinayak insisted on swimming in the cold water. Look at this example. Vinayak insisted on swimming. So, here also this swimming is used as a noun. So, that is what swimming here becomes an example of a gerund. So, Vinayak insisted on swimming, okay, in the cold water. So, here swimming becomes an object of preposition here. What do you mean by an object of preposition? See, Vinayak insisted on what? There is a question. If here is not this particular word swimming, there remains the question. Vinayak insisted on what? So, we get the answer as swimming. So, this swimming here used as the object of a preposition. So, this swimming is actually the object of what? The object of this preposition on. Okay, this preposition is, its meaning is not complete without the presence of this swimming. So, we can say that swimming is used here as the object of what? Not object of the sentence, but the object of this preposition. So, the third point is a gerund can be an object of a preposition. Okay. And the last one, Russell likes gardening, I don't like it. So, normally when we are using pronouns, we are using pronouns in a sentence in order to replace the main noun or the noun, not main noun or the noun. See, for example, Abdul Kalam was the president of India. Then we use he born in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. So, we use the pronoun he in order to replace the noun. So, normally we use pronouns for what? Pronouns for a noun. But here a gerund can also be substituted with a pronoun. See, for example, Russell likes gardening, I don't like it. So, look at the word it. It is actually a pronoun, and this it can be stood here for what? It can be stood for gardening. So, gerund can also be, or gerunds can also be substituted with pronoun. So, these are the things you have to remember from these examples. So, the first one is, here I am going to repeat all those points which we discussed so far. Present participle forms when they are assumed or when they are given the role of a noun or a subject in a sentence, they can be taken as an example of gerunds. Similarly, swimming in all the first three sentences and gardening in the last sentences, because of their usage here, become an example of a gerund. Similarly, in the first sentence, swimming is used as a subject in this sentence. So, the point you have to remember that gerund can be the subject of a sentence. In the second sentence, swimming is used as a complement. So, gerund can be a complement. In the third sentence, swimming is used as the object of a preposition. So, a gerund can be the object of a preposition. And in the last sentence, Russell likes gardening, this gardening is used and I don't like it, and this it, the pronoun it is used to substitute the gerund gardening. So, a gerund can also be substituted with a pronoun. So, these are the things you have to remember while going to this section. Okay. So, now based on this discussion, you will have two sets of exercises given below. So, you have to go through it and find out the suitable options. Okay, so the one example is given here. Tara teaches English. So when Tara teaches English, teaches is used there as a verb. So you have to transform it to a gerund. So look at the next sentence. Teaching takes up a great deal of her time. Yeah, that means she is spending most of her time for teaching. So there teaching is used as a noun and teaching is used as the subject in that sentence. So similarly, in that way you can fill all those sentences using the correct gerund form. Okay. Then when you turn over the page, you can find another set of exercise. Rewrite the following sentences according to the instructions after each sentence. So there 5 sentences are given and some instructions also are given after each sentence. Okay. So you have to go through it. One example is given here. Michael goes for a swim in the pool at the club. He loves it. So that is actually the sentence given here, but you have to rewrite it. So what is actually the rule given there? Begin with Michael loves. So you have to rewrite the sentence like what it is asked here. Okay. So you have to start the sentence as Michael loves. Michael loves going for a swim in the pool at the club. Okay. So going is actually used as a gerund there. So similarly, you have to go through the other sentences given and you have to complete all those sentences. Okay. Now look at these examples, and these examples will definitely help us to have a clear idea about what a gerund and what a present participle is. Okay. So look at the first example. She would have been expecting me. She would have been expecting me. So I want to check whether you understood it or not. Okay. She would have been expecting me. Is this an example of a present participle or a gerund? Tell me. She would have been expecting. Very good. Expecting. She would have been expecting me is actually the example of a present participle because it is used as a verb here. Then I am working again is an example of a present participle because it is used here as a verb. But coming to the second example, next example, swimming in the ocean has been Nauba's passion since she was 5-year-old. Here swimming is actually used as the subject in the sentence. So swimming in the ocean, that is actually the subject. Swimming in the ocean has been whose passion? Has been Nauba's passion. Yeah, from that time onwards, yeah, she loves swimming in the ocean. Okay, so swimming here used as a subject in this sentence. That means it is used as a noun. So it can be an example of a gerund. So this is an example of a gerund. Then last example. Let us go dancing at the club tonight. So here dancing is also used as the noun in this sentence. So it can also be an example of what? A gerund. So this is actually the major difference between a gerund and a past present participle is. So I hope that you understood the idea. Actually I planned to cover those 2 grammatical portions in this class, but now it's almost half an hour. So I will not be able to complete the second grammatical portion, that is future continuous. That can be taken in the next class. So I hope that you have an idea about, at least have an idea about this gerund, the use of gerund. Anyway, we can take one more set of exercises from page number 145. All of you please take page number 145. Do you know the word phobia? It means a strong unreasonable fear of something. Phobia, you all know, the meaning is actually fear of something. So, similarly, there are so many phobias. So, here you will have two boxes, and in the first box there are names of different phobias, and in the next box the meaning is given. So, you have to match it with the correct option. So, we have hydrophobia, zoophobia, cyberphobia, acrophobia, anglophobia, and fear of computer technology, hatred or fear of England or Britain, fear of animals, extreme fear of water, fear of heights. See, for example, cyberphobia, we can easily guess the meaning. Yeah, fear of computer technology. Then zoophobia, definitely it is actually the fear of animals. So, similarly you have to match the phobias with their correct meanings. So, that is actually your exercise. Okay. Then look at the next example, next set of exercise. Here is a word search. There are 6 terms hidden in it which are related to discrimination. So, in the first chapter, Jamaican fragment, we came to know about discrimination. So, here in this box 6 terms are almost hidden, and the one term is clearly visible and it is written in red ink. It is nothing other than nepotism. What do you mean by nepotism? Nepotism means, see, for example, some people who have power have a habit of influencing the higher authority in order to give jobs for their relatives or for their well-wishers. So, this is what we call nepotism. See, for example, imagine that if you elected as a minister or if you elected as a MLA, see, you will have a soft corner to your relatives, or you will have a soft corner to your well-wishers, and there will be a tendency in your part to influence those who are in power, or to influence those who are in power in order to offer or give some jobs to your relatives or to your well-wishers. So, that is what we call nepotism. So, similarly, there are 6 words hidden in the box. So, what is your task is to find out all those hidden words from the box, and using those words you have to complete the other 5 sentences given below. Okay. So, anyway, I think we can wind up here. So, actually, as I said, I plan to cover the 2 grammatical items which are included in this chapter. They are gerunds and future continuous, but it is almost half an hour. So, we are not able to complete the remaining grammatical portion in this class. So, that can be done or dealt in the coming online class. Anyway, I hope that you understood everything we discussed in today's class. Anyway, you have to complete your assignments as I mentioned in the class. Anyway, I think this is a time to wind up. Thank you and have a nice day.